was doing promotions and in the music, and we did a show, and I think his sister brought you, didn't you? And I think she just saw me and she was like, no, but I think that's the first time we met, and then we just exchanged numbers, and it wasn't much that night. We just kind of introduced ourselves to each other, exchanged phone numbers, and the next time we saw each other was in LA, right?
Yeah. No, I never ever go out, and my sister dragged me out, and I saw him sitting down, and I was like, and then that was it. We left, and then I saw him again later that night, and I propositioned him.
And I think our first time out was at Mimi's, because that's when I really got a chance to know her and just was like, oh shit, this could be her. I think this is her. And then I wore purple, which is her
favorite color.
And I didn't even know that. I just knew, because I'm that cool of a guy. And then we went to Mimi's and we had dinner. We talked for a long time, a very long time. And then we went to LA. That's the first time we actually got to really
spend time with each other and get to know each other.
We went to a club, and I'm not really a big club person. She's not really a big club person, so I think we just sat on the wall. We were on the wall in the club basically the whole night, just talking, and everybody else is running around drinking and partying, and we were just in the corner in the club trying to talk above the music. And then a little while later,
ever since then, we've just been there. Pretty much since the day we met, we talked and just been together ever since.
You can't get rid of me.
So I figured. Might as well make it official. We have a 10-month-old daughter. So when we told my parents, I told my dad that he knew what he was doing. So I was like, really? You playing that the whole time? Like you set me up? Yeah, but I think I was the only one at the table that was funny, so I kind of had to hide it. My shot.
And I didn't necessarily mean it like that. I just meant, I'm when I met her, I knew, after a little while, I kind of was like, no. Initially, I was like, maybe, and then after we kind of talked, after Mimi's, I was pretty sure. That she was. So. I don't know, the funniest thing to me, and this is something that I never really experienced, is when we first met, she was living out in the Bay Area and I was living in Sacramento. And when she would come see me, she would run to me like we hadn't seen each other, like we hadn't seen each other in years. And I just, I thought that was sweet. I don't think I've ever told her that, but I did. She used to always, now when she sees me, it's kind of like but she used to run to me. Now it's kind of just like, where's the baby? Did you take out the trash? Things have changed, is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't normal. It wasn't a normal. I wish it was this whole kind of like, I guess, fairy tale type of deal. But I think one day I just said, I was just like, let's get married. Let's go. Like, I wanted to go like to Reno or to Vegas or something. I just wanted to get married, and we were that close. We were that close to just going to Reno and just getting married, and then, I think we were going to invite some family members.
Yeah.
We were going to invite some family members, but we wasn't going to have a big ceremony like we are, and I was that close. And
I couldn't let him out that easy.
Right. And then, as far as the ring, I was kind of thinking of all these kind of like romantic, and I'm working on my being a little more romantic. I'm not the most romantic guy in the world.
You are?
I said I'm not.
I'm working on it.
Yes. So we went. I think we went jogging, and I'd had the ring for a minute, and I was just trying to think, and I didn't want to do it like everybody else. You go to dinner, you go do something. More than anything, I just wanted her to be surprised and not know like that was the time I was gonna give it to her or whatever the case may be. So I thought if we went somewhere, she would kind of be like,
You don't never take me nowhere.
right. Right. So I didn't want to do it. So what we did was we went jogging, and I remember before we went, I was like, before and after, and so we went jogging, and then we even got the spot that's kind of like our spot now, and we get there and we stop, and we both tired, and I actually kneeled down because I was tired, but it was part of my my ploy. But I kneeled down because I was tired, and then she was kind of like had her hands on her knee, just kind of resting. And
I was just doing that to make him feel better because I didn't want him to feel like he was out of shape. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, it's so not true. This is the same person that I'm gonna finish the other story. But as we're going, we get like halfway. And she's like, we gotta stop. I was like, we only did like a half a block. And she was ready to stop. So whatever, she's gonna make me seem like I'm a fat guy, but I'm not. So we get to the spot, we rest, and then I got out on one knee and I had the ring in my pocket, and I know she was tired, and I just looked up at her and I said, I've known I wanted to marry you since I met you, and the sad part is I forget what I said other than that, but I just asked her to marry me and cried a little bit. I think she would have cried more if she was tired, so she clearly couldn't generate any tears.
It was all coming out in sweat.
Right. So to me, it was different. I wanted to do something more, but what was most important to me is that she didn't have any idea that I was going to do it at that time. Because we had already, I was like, hey, let's get married, let's go to Reno, let's go to Vegas, let's just go get married. Like I said, I almost had her to just go get married, and maybe we did the ceremony in a year or two or something like that. But
I didn't trust him that he was gonna give me famous.
I was close though. We was like, we gonna get a car. We was close to like getting cars and renting a hotel and all of that, but it's never happened. Anyway.
I loved it. I loved it. I was surprised.
And she had no idea.
I had no idea. It was good. I was like, oh, my hair. I just was ready.
And it was absolutely nobody else out there for her to be worried about her hair. But she was like, wait.
And I was thinking, my nails are done. He just put the ring on and see.
She's a little bit, tad bit OCD, but it's okay.
I'm starting to get nervous. I think for the whole, he probably thinks I was driving him crazy. I don't think I was. But my whole outlook of the whole planning process, I just kind of wanted it to be a celebration with all of our family and friends to be there with us, even though he probably didn't see it that way because I was so detail oriented. But I don't know. I'm excited for today and to see him and probably just make it official.
I'm excited, anxious. I'm not nervous for whatever reason. I'm more nervous about my family because I have a few characters in my family, and I know she has a few characters in her family, so I'm more just like, okay, let's just have a smooth wedding. No, nobody get too tipsy. Nobody do anything that you can catch on camera and never erase. This whole the whole wedding, I've never been married. I've never been engaged, so this is my first time for all of it, and it is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of preparation. It's just a lot, but it's really good. But I'm just ready to be married and so we can start our life. So ceremony would be great, but our life should be much better.
She was a surprise, but a gift. And I was scared. But he was so wonderful when I was pregnant. Just wonderful, sure I wasn't the easiest. But yeah, she was a long journey getting here, but she has been such a blessing, and I don't necessarily think she drew us closer as in our relationship, but as far as relying on each other, and she kind of gave us gave me a different level of trust with him. And just a different level of trust and just knowing that, I don't know, it's just a different purpose, I think. She definitely gave me a different purpose in my life because I was such a planner. Even him, I'm very like planning. So when I met him, I was like, it's out of the ordinary. And
she calls it planning, everybody else calls it okay. But we won't haggle. We won't haggle.
But yeah, they both have totally taken my life a different direction, but it was, in the end, it was the direction that I wanted it to go, that I was planning for, but I just had to, I think God really stepped in and was like, okay, it's my plan, not yours. So, and it has worked out just how I wanted to.
For me, I have a son. I have an older son too. So, but having a girl is just totally different. It is. I mean, I wouldn't say night and day, but having her has definitely changed my life in a good way. I don't know. Like I said, when I met her after like a couple of dates, I kind of knew to myself like, yeah, I think she's the one. As long as she doesn't go crazy on me, I'm pretty sure this is the one. As long as, but my little girl is, wow, yeah. And then my son, so just my family is now what I'm focused on. I had my son, and I had my son when I was real young. So I had to grow up quick, and I had my son so young that I was like, I don't know if I want a kid, blah blah blah. And then
I talked him into 5.
Oh yeah, and that's what I wanted to say. So this is before before she was pregnant, before any of this, she wanted 5, and I told her in theory 5 sounds great, but in reality 5 is a scary thing, because I mean, even with her pregnancy, it went smooth, but I remember the scariest thing in the world is when they were telling us, I forget the medical terms, but it wasn't like it was a big issue with the baby, but it was just scary, and I just realized, having a child when I was young, I was so naive and I just didn't know a lot, and sometimes ignorance is bliss, and you don't know, so you don't get nervous, you don't worry about anything because you're so young. But having her when I was a little older, everything was kind of like, I'm looking at everything, I hope they're healthy, I hope this, I was hoping for, I won't say I was hoping for more, I just wanted a healthy baby, and then we went to the doctor yesterday, and she's going to be tall anyway, so she's still going to be a hooper, right?
Yeah, she's going to be cheerleader.
We rehearsed this earlier. She just went off script. She just went off script. Cause we had an agreement, especially when the doctor told us, 5'7", maybe more. She'll probably say she said 5'7", maybe less. Yeah, but 5'7", maybe more. So, I'm just happy. I'm just ready to be married and ready to start our life. I told her I loved her and started up 24, 36 Other than that, everybody, to her family, her parents, for everything that they've done, I want to thank them. My mom, for everything she's done, my dad, everybody, all the family that came out from, miles and miles away. Just want to thank all of them. Let's get this party started. I'm ready.